So you may have been feeling triggered around relationships, around money, around your career goals, and things like that. You may have been finding some intenser emotions coming up. Maybe in some way, shape, or form, there has been conflicts with communication. Maybe things are moving a little bit slower as pertains to travel and things like that. So I'm about to tell you the mystical moon message and what's going on, and also how we can transform this energy through shadow work. Okay, so two things to understand that's happening is we have a solar eclipse in Aries coming on the 8th, and we're also in Mercury in retrograde. As you know, Mercury, it really affects communication, travel, technology, and things like that. So this is really a time to not be afraid, honey. That's beneath us, right? But we're going to be mindful, and we're going to make sure that we're completing projects that we started off to do. Maybe not beginning completely new things at this time, but if you need to tie up loose ends, this is a really good time to do that. Being mindful not to be getting into like unnecessary arguments with people that you love. And with this eclipse energy, this may trigger things around your Venusian energy. So Venus is a planet of like love, beauty, money, relationships, value, your self-worth, things like that. So you may have some triggers come up around these things. And let me tell you what you should do in order to alchemize this energy. So as you know, as a shadow work practitioner, therapist, healer, I'm going to tell you to do some shadow work, because we're going to turn that pain into power. We're going to turn that pain into art. We're not going to just overeat and use drugs and get drunk and have sex with people you shouldn't be having sex with just to run away from your feelings, honey. No, we're going to turn that pain into power and alchemize this energy. So here are some practices to help you to do this. Now, I want to highly recommend, when you find yourself feeling triggered, I know it's easy to want to escape, but set a 1 hour timer to be like, okay, I'm going to dedicate this to doing some shadow work around this. And if you have to feel some extreme pain for those moments, allow yourself to feel that pain. Okay, so set yourself a 1 hour timer, and then it's time to pull out your journal. Now I'm going to ask you to set a 10-minute timer on your phone. I know it's hard to set 2 timers, but you'll be fine. Set a 10-minute timer on your phone and just journal dump. Like, what is everything going on in your mind and your heart? Like, what's really going on with you? Like, the only rule during this journal sesh is like, don't stop writing until that timer's up, okay? Now then, that's where meditation comes in. Now, I personally highly recommend working with the spirit realm. You have the goddess Isis. I did a goddess Isis meditation. She gives me guidance. Like, you can talk to the gods, the goddesses, the angels, your spirit guides, sometimes your ancestors, and during meditation. So I highly recommend doing a meditation to connect with whoever you feel called to, right? And if you don't feel comfortable working with different gods and goddesses, which, I mean, I think it's great, but if you don't feel comfortable yet, you can do a guided meditation to connect with like Archangel Raphael, who is the angel of healing. You can do a spirit guide meditation. And the ways to do this is just simply go on YouTube and type in guided meditation for this. So you can literally type in guided spirit guide meditation, and you just put the meditation on, put your phone on do not disturb, sit there quietly, breathe, and just go through the process in your mind and trust what's happening. For my people who feel uncomfortable with meditating, because you might feel not necessarily your spirit leave your body, but a lot of people are not comfortable with that feeling of like that lightness, that when your etheric body and the beta waves in your mind is activated, you might feel a little less grounded. You can call on Archangel Michael for protection, so that you know that nothing bad's going to happen to you. But just know that you're safe. Even if your spirit is like floating around and you're having like an astral experience, your body is, you can wake up and move at any time. You're not going to be stuck anywhere. Don't let people scare you to think like that. So once you get the guidance from your meditation, come back down and write down what you needed, what you needed to learn, etc., etc. Now, I highly recommend, now this is what I do. I have at least 20 different tarot, oracle, maybe 30 different tarot and oracle decks. So I pull cards on what I need. Like, I'm going to ask questions like, what do I need to learn from this situation? How does this person feel? what is the best way to move forward. So if you are my client, if you are someone who's in tune with my teachings, if you are an empath, if you are a psychic, I highly recommend using divination. Remember, you do what's more comfortable for you. So if you're not comfortable with the tarot, if you're not comfortable with this, that's totally fine. But an angel oracle deck is lit. You can get oracle decks. You don't have to get into the tarot if you're not comfortable with it just yet, okay? So I highly recommend pulling some cards. And then, you know, when it comes to transmuting that pain energy, when it comes to alchemizing that energy, you want to do some art, okay? So do some vent art, some vent poetry, vent art. So what that entails, when it comes to vent poetry, I teach, I hold poetry therapy groups, and I teach, like, you know, vent poetry classes. And what I do is, you know, we use free verse poetry, so it doesn't have to rhyme, it doesn't have to anything, honey. You're just expressing what's going on in your heart and soul, and you just put on some moody lo-fi music and you just write whatever is on your heart, whatever's on your soul, get it out. You can choose a theme and just let it flow, okay? Remember, emotions are energy in motion. So you are pouring your emotion, you're turning your emotion from something that's just uncomfortable sitting inside of you, and you're giving it a place to go so it comes out of you, and then you get to feel lighter, you get to feel better, you get to have more insight. Now, if you're not a poet, write a rap, honey. Make some music. You know, a lot of y'all are, everybody is creative. Just tap into your creativity. If you don't feel like using words, do some art, get some paint, honey. Oh my gosh, like, when you're going through like the worst pain on earth, get yourself a paintbrush and a canvas and some paint, and just do whatever your heart desires. It don't gotta look like nothing. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't judge it. Just let it out, okay? So we have journaling, we have meditation, we have pulling some tarot cards or some oracle cards, we have creating some art. Use these 4 tools to help you to move through this shadow work with this energy, and use these 4 tools all the time when it comes to healing yourself, because you just need to do it, because we're adults and we may not have been responsible for the pains of our past that was caused by others, but we are responsible for our healing. And then last but not least, I also want to say, when it comes to this energy, we may have some triggers around relationships. So remember that heart chakra might be affected. So feel free to do a guided heart chakra meditation. Get you some essential oils or just some oil in general, and just gently rub it on your heart and breathe. Like, you know, send some healing energy into your heart space, and just like breathe and pray, and, you know, you're gonna be all right. You know, and if y'all need some help, if y'all need some assistance with this, if you need a whole bunch of clarity, because we all need clarity, honey. If you need some clarity, if you need a reading, I am running a sale until the 19th. You can book in my bio, or you can, you know, www.flamesofloveuniverse.com. But thank you so much for watching this video. I love you, and I'm here if you need me. Bye, y'all.